Dead of the Night, a map that just one day showed up and then was certified as the reason as to why Black Ops 4 Zombies failed. I actually didn't really play a lot of Black Ops 4, definitely not because of a certain game being out during 2018, and since then I have purchased the map packs, but I just never gave these maps a full go to form my own opinion if this map is truly as bad as some people claim. So that's why I decided to play 100 matches and see how that goes. It's definitely not a lot, right? Like, definitely 100 matches is not that many. Anyway, match 1 started off with me being just a tiny bit confused, since this was my first time playing Black Ops 4 in at least a year, and I have been playing a lot of the most recent Zombies iterations, so getting into the feel of things took me some time. So I just decided to jump in with whatever I had on my class from before when I played, and overall it was actually going pretty well. I ended up going down on round 3 and just wandering around. I decided that the first few matches I'm going to actually just dedicate to learning the map and its layout, since, you know, I haven't played much of it, and it would give me a better feeling of just getting into the complicated stuff that I actually plan to do throughout these 100 matches. I found like this green crystal rock stone thing, which confused me, and also I got the Artlist's Foley wonder weapon in the box, which honestly at the time really surprised me because I didn't actually know that it wasn't that rare to get outside of the box. And then I ended up going down on round 12 and completely dying. Not the worst first match. In my second match though, I noticed I had a fish charm on my gun. Completely unrelated, but it did make me happy. Oh, and also I got the wonder weapon again, which this time around it is a bit suspicious because I got it pretty easily the first time and pretty easily the second time. I noticed there was these symbols around the map that kind of rang a bell. I kind of remember them from the last time that I played this match, and also I decided to fill up a different crystal that I did find, and it let me gaze into it. Once I did that, it showed me a clock which actually looked very familiar, so I ran over to it and it activated this timer on the ground, which basically required me to stand in it until the like minute-ish is over fighting off zombies, and then it gave me this item, which instantly made me think this is probably for Pack-a-Punch. So going over to the other crystal, this time around I did see a woman, which did kind of, you know, make me lost because I have no idea what this was at the time, and then I ended up going down and completely dying on round 16. Not a bad attempt on my second go. Also, to quickly mention, I did go down on like round 16 and then it said that I died on round 15. The way Black Ops 4 Zombies works is how they recently decided to treat the complete round that you finish as the round that you got to, but we're not going to be treating it like that in this video because no, I got to this round. I'm going to be dying on this round. On match 3, I actually just decided to look up the guide for how to make Pack-a-Punch just because it will make life so much easier, and the first kind of vibe that I got was this feels really overcomplicated. Now obviously I have done it over 100 times since I've made this video, but at the time it was quite a lot of things that you have to do and a lot of different like attempts and iterations that you can get. Let me know that Black Ops 4 Zombies really is truly overcomplicated. But you know what? That's why there's 100 matches to play through, so I can completely learn it and be a professional and become amazing at this game. Yeah. You know what? It wasn't actually the most difficult thing. I did get it open, I fought the werewolf off, and there it is, the Pack-a-Punch machine, which looks so cool on the Chaos storyline. It's like a portal that takes stuff in, and when I put my shotgun in, I ended up going down, so I guess I lost that shotgun, and then I went down and died on round 15. But in match 4, I finally did figure out how to select a class, so that was good progress, you know. Match 4, it's about time, so I was able to change up my stuff and actually go into a game with at least perks or abilities and guns that I preferred using. Also, this game I got the wonder weapon for a 4th time because I did get it the last game as well, so now I'm actually being a bit suspicious as to how lucky I was getting this wonder weapon back to back to back to back. In this game, I did go down on round 12, not the best go. Match 5, I really wanted to give like going for at least a reasonably high round a really good go, so I decided to look up how to build a shield, and I got that because in this game shields are extremely essential and something we haven't actually seen in zombies in quite some time, so it does take me a bit of time to get used to it. Also, I got the Artlist's Foley again. This is some insane luck if I'm not gonna lie, and I got up to round 17. Again, not the best, but not the worst, considering this was my 5th match. In match 6, I decided to watch a guide on how to upgrade the wonder weapon itself, the Artlist's Foley. And once again, I got absolutely just overloaded with information of how complex this thing is to upgrade. So instead of doing the complete upgrade, because there's 2 phases to it, I decided to go into this game and just do the first one, which is the Chaos Theory version of the Wonder Weapon. I dedicated a lot of the match to basically get the Artlist fully from the box because I'm stubborn, and since I did get super lucky the 5 games before, I refused to learn how to build it because I know there's a method. Then I got the silver bullets, which I was able to craft from poop and other stuff, but I do like that poop was involved, so it is the most important component. And then I killed a wolf that gave me this like red goopy stuff that then I was able to use my shield to bonk this weird bookshelf that then opened to a secret compartment and then gave me a part. And then going over to the laboratory, I put that goop into a weird machine that then gave me like a sample, and then using that sample and that piece, I went over to crafting table and I crafted it together, and ta-da, there is the Chaos Theory, which is actually a really good upgrade of the Wonder Weapon. Dare I say, it's extremely powerful, and I think is going down in history of like one of my favorite Wonder Weapons to use inside of zombies. I had so much fun, and basically I had to get it almost every single game. It has 3, I guess, bullet styles if you want to include the basic shooting one, and then it has 2 power-up abilities. One of them basically shoots like this green weird ooze that then essentially just confuses zombies. That's the best way to explain it. Sometimes kills them, I think. I'm not going crazy from what I've noticed. But then there is the other ability which essentially creates a tornado and then like consumes all the zombies and kills them. It's definitely one of the best ones, and is a really good way of escaping from some insane sticky situations. Now, just because I did only build this upgrade, I did find a spot over here where you like essentially activate power on this map, and I just sat here killing zombies. It mightn't be the best situation to be in, but I really enjoyed it and actually managed to get up to round 27 in this attempt, which is definitely a huge step up from the previous ones. And the only issue I had was ammo, which is a huge problem in the older zombies games from now, what I'm remembering. I got too used to just being able to find a max ammo very easily by just, you know, refilling my ammo in the most recent zombies iteration. Match 7, I got the Chaos Theory upgrade once again, and I was about to do the first step for the final upgrade, which involved me basically getting bile from Nosferatu vampire zombies, which are like one of the enemy types on top of the werewolves and the zombies. And by basically getting them stuck in a tornado, they drop the bile, and once I had enough of the bile, I had to go over to a coffin and activate the coffin, and inside of the coffin there's essentially a red Nosferatu, and I failed. I died. So match 8, I also died. It didn't go well. I died around 12. These back-to-back aren't going too great. Not to mention that match 9, I might have also died pretty early. Maybe playing more matches doesn't really make you better. Maybe. We shall see. Match 10 though, I actually started off pretty good. Got the Artlist Foley on my second box spin. I'm still being stubborn and not building it. This time around, I got the Chaos Theory, and then I got to the coffin step, which I completed. After this, there are only 2 left. There is the lamp step, which you can do actually in the cemetery, and essentially you just have to shoot this like darker colored lamp, and then it teleports to different lamp locations that are super close to one another. Once that happens, a flying Nosferatu zombie spawns in, and then if you shoot it fast enough, it isn't actually too difficult to shoot, it drops you more goop. And then lastly, the last part is definitely the most difficult one for this upgrade, because you have to make your way to the Pack-a-Punch Forest, and then in the Pack-a-Punch Forest, you have to essentially use the green ooze ability of the Chaos Theory to distract the zombie, but instead it actually just digs a hole in these 3 little piles, and then out of that pile you will get the last part. It did take me some attempts, but I got it. With that, I was able to go back into the laboratory, basically redo the same step of putting the goopy stuff in the machine and getting samples, but this time around, well, 2 samples, and I made my way over to a different crafting bench, and ta-da! Here is the Artlist's Annihilator, which is essentially almost the exact same Wonder Weapon as the one that we just had, like the Chaos Theory, but it added on just a tiny bit more abilities, like for example, a red like weird ball of fire that burns zombies. It's pretty good and pretty powerful, and also a green ability that just like insta-kill zombies, and is definitely my favorite because it just literally just insta-kills them. They just turn tiny and they die. It's so good. So good. Oh, and I also died around 26. So close to beating the 27. Match 11, I came to a decision. I was ready for the Easter egg. Yeah. Definitely after spending 3 matches building the Wonder Weapon upgrade. I am so ready. For this bad boy, I decided to use Codename Pizza's Guide, which thank you so much for this one because it was insanely good. And also, I had to raise my brightness this game since the map is honestly way too dark at times, and it made it like really difficult to do some of these steps, and hopefully it makes the video a tiny bit more watchable. Anyway, I got to the beam step where essentially it's like a beam that shoots at the Artlist statue that's on the map, and then you have to like adjust the beams, which honestly, I don't know how I did it, but I got extremely lucky this run, which then activated the second step, which was essentially you had to look for these symbols, signs, and then once you found them around different parts of the map, there's 3 of them, they had an allocated amount of scratches, which once you counted all the scratches and got the symbols, you were supposed to go over to the laboratory, and inside of the laboratory you go over to this giant telescope, which you put into the order of least to the most amount of scratches, and then it opens up the top roof, and then you're supposed to turn that thing and then melee it with your shield, and then you're supposed to turn on an electric trap that's inside the laboratory, and then using your shield it turns electric, and then you run over to the telescope, and then you hit the telescope so that it breaks, and then you're able to activate a special lockdown, which is with the stone, and you complete the lockdown, killing a lot of zombies and a lot of werewolves, and then after killing the werewolves you get a max ammo, and then you can move on to the second step, which was the step that has me going literally to hell. Before I did that, I had to collect branches, and by collecting those branches I was then able to find my tombstone of the character who is essentially dead in this game for some odd reason, but then you actually die. You kind of go into this afterlife location, then you shoot down the fire gun on the ground, and by shooting the fire gun on the ground you go into hell by activating the twigs or branches that you basically collected that are now in like this weird cross. Going to hell, you essentially are basically dead, so you have to look around for a ghost, and when you find a ghost you're then supposed to follow the ghost back into the cemetery, so you're just backtracking, and inside of the cemetery now there's that weird rock thing that you activate and do another lockdown, which wasn't too difficult but it wasn't too easy, and then after doing that you get another max ammo, which then moves on to the last step, which is definitely the most confusing and also most complex, which is very you know, in line with Black Ops 4 Zombies. And once you're here you essentially have to activate a trap, and shooting the trap with your upgraded weapon, you shoot the fire trap and then it turns blue, and you walk through it with your shield. Then you're supposed to hit a certain amount of fireplaces in a specific order, and once you do that they turn blue, and then once you get to the last one it gives you a crystal, and then you basically repeat that 2 more times in 2 different fireplace orders. And once you have that, you're then supposed to look around the map for special knights, which are obviously in the same location each time, and once you do that the knights essentially go into the crystal itself that then follows you around, and then you're supposed to go into the forest where the pack-a-punch machine is, place down the crystal, and I died. So I basically got to the last step before the boss fight and I died. That's not depressing at all. Not at all. So then in match 12, I died again on round 19. The biggest issue was the fact that I took forever doing everything. And why? The weird laser beam step. It's so confusing. Like I don't understand it. Also on top of that, I'm still being extremely stubborn and just trying to spend a box for the one weapon instead of, you know, building it, which would save me a lot of the rounds because it doesn't matter what round you really do it on to make your life easier. So then in match 13, I decided to look up a guide, or at least multiple guides, to make my life a bit easier with that like laser beam step, to see if I could find anyone that could break it down completely. And it wasn't getting too lucky until I found the greatest video ever, like genuinely made by Just Gaming fella. Seriously, this helped me out so much, and it made this step still a bit confusing, but at least it worked every single time I did their combination. So thank you so much for this guide, seriously. Now throughout the actual Easter egg on this attempt I did mess up a lot, but thankfully through a lot of trial and error I got back to the night lockdown step, and I did it. I can actually officially move into the boss fight. But before I go, what the hell is a steak knife? And why is Codename Pizza's Easter egg guide telling me to do this? This is a completely different Easter egg. I died trying to complete that Easter egg thing that Codename Pizza for some odd reason had at the very end of his video. I died. I'm not gonna blame anyone, but if I'll be honest, I would have implemented this in some way into the actual Easter egg. It is also on me for not watching it completely before I actually did the Easter egg. I kind of just used it as I went on, but you know what? It was still a good guide nonetheless. Love you, pizza. Match 14 was dookie. It just didn't go well at all. So then in match 15, things were actually looking better until they weren't. Died on round 17. I'm really bad at getting the shield and even the perks in this game. My only excuse is, once again, the shield hasn't been in zombies in forever. And no, we don't talk about this thing. And as for the perks, they just don't feel as important in this game since you choose a set of 4. They're not like pre-selected on the map, and also considering the fact that I did just play 100 matches of Modern Warfare Zombies, I'm used to perks just not being as incredibly important as they unfortunately are in the older Zombies games. By match 16, I was very sad, but I went back in, and for once, after upgrading the Alistair's Foley, I learned that the step where I have to have a zombie dig that hole, I was doing completely wrong. You see, before I was just shooting that upgraded ability just randomly and hoping for the best. Turns out you're actually supposed to shoot the zombie that you want to dig. This changed changes absolutely everything for actually upgrading this one weapon, and I'm just sad I didn't know that, or at least I didn't listen to the guides very well. You see? I'm not the brightest person. This match I also got to the night step again, which went a bit awful since I ended up going down and used anywhere but here, which perfectly teleported me over to depth perception, which I needed. And as I tried running away, my brain was like, ah yes, turn around and take the portal instead, which I don't know why I did, because once I did that, I died around 26, and yeah. That's on me. A lot of these mistakes are on me. Match 17, I decided I needed a break from the Easter egg attempts. I know. I did just take like, what, 6 to 7 matches actually doing this. It took me forever. So I gave Gauntlets a go, which, if you don't know, is essentially a completely different mode, but it still takes place on the Dead of the Night map. And it's basically a set of amount of challenges that you have to complete every single round for like 30 rounds. From 1 to 10, it's a bronze medal. From 11 to 20, or I guess maybe 10 to 20, it's silver, and then from 20 to 30 it's gold, and then you finish. Turns out I actually did play this before and I didn't do too bad. I don't have any recollection of this, and I actually did fail on my first round because I forgot that you're supposed to complete the challenge fully before you end the round. Yeah. And overall, I actually wasn't doing too bad. There's like an interesting billiard step where you're supposed to shoot billiard balls into holes. And then I actually ended up completely dying on a challenge that essentially requires you to kill zombies only when you're completely on the ground, which is just prone. And I got to a point where I went prone, but then the game decided to just raise me from the ground on its own, and I got smacked around and died. Listen, not the worst first attempt. Because of that, for match 18, I read online what all the challenges are, and honestly, I have absolutely no idea how the hell I'm going to be doing this. They're just a bit complicated. So I decided to do it again. Honestly, there's like this challenge where you have to protect the dining room with AI players, and you're supposed to also avoid friendly fire. Is really annoying because the AI can completely down you, but if you shoot the AI, you fail. I did end up going down because the AI is stupid, but nuh-uh. I have to build a steak knife for one of the challenges? Fine. I guess this is just gonna be one of the ways I'll learn how to actually make it. And I did. Somehow, I got to 25 zombies that you're supposed to kill with it. And then I got to the next challenge, which essentially is kind of stupid. Zombies don't show up unless you're shooting your gun. And that ended up being the one that I failed on. But hey, at least I got further. That's pretty good. Match 19, I went back in and failed on the AI challenge. They killed me. I don't like this. And so, with match 20, you know, it being the big 20, I decided to go back in and do the Easter egg. Yeah, more frustration. Going from frustration from the Easter egg attempts to then frustration from the Gauntlet attempts. We're back where we started, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, this run went really good. Like, suspiciously good, kinda. I did go down 2 times. And look, I did it. I was able to go and do the boss fight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? This time around, I wasn't gonna do the steak knife. I just decided to hop into the boss fight with a bit of like looking up of how to do it. And my gun was just doing no damage to the werewolf at all. And then I failed. The Easter egg boss is actually very, very odd. It's not really a boss fight. More of like complete challenges to damage a boss. I don't know, but it wasn't the worst. And you know what? I'll take it. I'll take the fact that I actually finally got here. Before I went back into match 21 to do the Easter egg again, I decided to watch a speed run, which was actually from Freckleston, to see if I can maybe learn something. Like, honestly, anything at all. And the most interesting thing that I was actually able to learn was that you don't really need the steak knife. And instead, somehow, the Wallby Spitfire SMG is an absolute beast to take down zombies. So this time around, I did everything. I completed it all super easily, every step, and then I got the Spitfire SMG and we went in. And ladies and gentlemen, no joke, I managed to complete the actual Easter egg. My first time ever completing a big boy Treyarch Zombies Easter egg on my own. I have completed Easter eggs before. I complete basically all the Black Ops 3 ones with my friends, but for the first time ever, I did it all on my own. I'm speechless because honestly, this was definitely one of the most satisfying, rewarding things I've ever done in zombies, or at least in a very long time. The fact that I was able to learn this Easter egg so well that I completed it in 1 hour and 14 minutes, to the fact that this speedrun saved me and let me complete it without attempting it again, is such a nice feeling, and it's such a nice rewarding thing. And what I will say is, this Easter egg is complicated. It is ridiculous, but also once you learn it, it's not that complicated, and it's actually really good. Overall, as for this being my 21st match, it's actually a really fun zombies experience, and I currently don't really understand the hate. Let's see how maybe the, 79 other matches will go. So with that huge boost of joy in match 22, I just wanted to chill a bit. So I decided to hop into a game of the hardcore difficulty, since this is more game modes that kind of exist. It's more of like just change the difficulty. And at the time, I had absolutely no idea what the difference was. Turns out they just took like bar off of your health. Instead of it being 200, it's 150 health. And there's a slightly bit more zombies that are slightly bit more difficult to kill. I did die on round 11. So at the time I was like, oh, this is easy, but I still died pretty fast. And I attempted this mode 2 more times. Honestly, it was kind of meh. But then I realized that there's even more difficult mode called realistic, and this sparked my interest. And oh boy, let me tell you, I died almost instantly. Turns out in this, zombies spawn in like crazy, and you only have 1 hit before you completely down. Like no self revives, nothing. You just die. 1 hit. So I died like super fast. So then match 26, I went in again, and no, I died on round 1. Or well, according to the game, round 0. Match 27, yep, same thing. And match 28, you guessed it, same situation. Okay. But match 29, I did better, okay? I got to round 6. I decided to actually try out perks to see if they work, and I didn't get around to testing out death perception just because, I died. So in match 30, I went back in just to see, and yeah, it actually surprisingly does work. Maybe this will change up my mindset later on when I try this again. Oh, and then I died on round 5. For match 31, I felt like being adventurous once again and tried a different mode. Yes, there's even more. This one is called the rush mode. And honestly, I still have no really idea what this is. It's kind of like Gauntlet, where every round is a challenge, but there's like a coin point system, and you can get like a bunch of points, and then you have lives that you can also gain, but you still have to complete challenges per round, like protect stuff or do stuff. I don't know. I ended up dying in the billiard room one. I don't know, it was like 14 minutes in. It wasn't that bad, so I decided to go in again and see if I could do better. And both on match 32 and 33, I failed almost at the exact same stage. In match 35, I accidentally killed myself with a trap, and it was literally the same point, like around the 13 to 14 minute mark. By match 35, I got really bored of these different versions of the map, and instead I wanted to go for a high round. I could have looked up a guide and done amazing with this attempt, but you know what? Since it is only match 35, I have like more than enough matches to get through to do, like a high round, like around 100 or something. So I went back to this odd place that I used back on the beginning, like when I played like one of the first match, and got to round 27. And this time I actually got to round 47. What's with these 7s? It wasn't the worst run. Only reason I really failed was because the ammo became a huge problem. And then match 36, you think I'd do it again, like, go for another round 100, but nope. My ADHD brain decided to go back into the gauntlets. But this time around, I was gonna get them done. I wasn't gonna stop until I have it all completed, and this time I died in the billiard room step. Get him next time. Nope. Next time? Nope. How about 39? Of course not. In conclusion, of all these awful runs, I can't find a way of setting up everything smoothly before I get onto the steak knife step. Somehow, this is honestly the biggest pain that I'm having right now. So, for match 40, I looked up a guide, and what the hell is the Savage Impaler? Why am I only learning about this? Why is it like the tiniest amount of text on the challenges? When I looked at them, no wonder I didn't see it. Look how small it is. How am I supposed to know what that is? My brain cannot compute. Oh my god, this changes everything. Not only do I have to build this steak knife, I also have to build like this completely different thing that I had no idea was on this map for the gauntlets. What the hell? Okay, so for this next match, for 40, I decided to dedicate it to learn how to make the Savage Impaler, but I died on round 6. I'm panicking. So for match 41, I had to do well, right? No, I died because turns out you need actual equipment for this step and not the homunculus, which I got from the box because I'm still being stubborn and not actually always building the goddamn wonder weapon, and I wasn't able to complete the step and I just ended up dying. Okay, fine. Match 42. I just went back into the gauntlets. You know what? I kind of have the basic gist. It just kills zombies, power up rings, and you'll get it. Okay. Nope. I went into the glitch spot and I died. Somehow, I don't know how this happened, but you know what? I'll take it. At least something cool happened. For match 43, I failed on the AI step, of course. For match 44, I was kind of doing pretty well. I was finally getting the hang of things, and that didn't last long. I died again. For match 46, I did the steak knife step, and I did end up failing. But you know what? That's okay. All that matters is I finally made it back. I finally got to the step, kind of working on the Savage Impaler as well. I'll take it. I'm starting to feel better. Match 46 was the match I broke the curse. I got past the 14th challenge. Finally. Now, did I get further? No. I completely died on the tactical rifle step where you're just supposed to use an unpack-a-punch version of it. But you know what? We're one step closer. Match 47, we don't talk about. I definitely didn't die to a trap. Match 48 though. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to the steak knife step. Boom. Done. I got to the Savage Impaler step. Boom. First time doing it. Done. And then I got to the scary ghost step, where it was like, ooh, look for the ghost location. I started panicking. I looked up guides and no, it's okay. We got it. Boom. Done. This was the time. This had to be the game. So I locked in. Went from leaning back in my chair to sitting at a 45-degree angle looking at my goddamn monitor. Things were looking good until I died in the cellar step. You know what? That's okay. We still have one more. We're locking even more in. Boom. Next challenge. Next one. Next one. Next one. My hands were sweating, but also for some odd reason freezing. Like I was really cold while doing this, but also sweating. It was weird. I was panicking. I was scared until I got to the 30 challenge. And look at this. I did it. I did it. My first ever gauntlet completed. It only took me way too many attempts, but ladies and gentlemen, I did it. And honestly, I couldn't have done this without Glitch on YouTube. Such an amazing guide. Such a good way of breaking it all down. I did kind of approach it differently with my own steps just to make my life easier, but still brilliant guide. Cannot wait for your return. Amazing channel. And since all of that anxiety shenanigans just happened, I took it pretty chill for match 49 and went down on round 12. But you know what? That's okay. It was just a filler match either way. For match 50, I decided to do the first room challenge, which you just gotta. It's essential for any map that you play. Especially since I'm playing 100 matches of this, I just gotta. I got to round 14, which wasn't too bad. And for the next few matches, I tried to see if I could beat that. So here's a quick breakdown. For match 51, I got to round 12. Match 52 was actually pretty impressive and got to round 16. Don't know if I'll be able to beat that. For match 53, I got to round 13. And match 54, I got to 14 again. No, yeah, I can't beat round 16. That was probably the highest I'll ever get. And you know what? I was done. I didn't feel like going again. It was fun until you just do it too many times, especially with the lack of space in the first room on this map. Like, it's honestly tiny. You can't even train. You kind of have to just go over to one corner, and it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst. 16 isn't too bad. I'll take it. So it was time for match 55. And you know what? I finally decided to go back and attempt high rounds, or more specifically round 100 attempt. I decided to look up some best strategies, which honestly I couldn't really find. I did learn that the master bedroom and also in the library with the silver bullets, it is like a good location to sit at. Master bedroom seems to be the best like location to maybe not go down and get zombies spawning in fast enough. In the library just to get ammo. So what I decided to do was hop in, upgrade the wonder weapon all the way to Artlist's Annihilator, and try to get the rocket launcher, which I know is also supposed to be pretty good. This one did take a bit of tries because I spun the box definitely like over 50 times trying to get the rocket launchers, and then on round 22 I was actually able to get it. Honestly, this being my first like true round 100 attempt, it was pretty solid until for some odd reason I decided to change locations after the round 55 super sprinters that spawn in from here, and I went over to the library to get ammo, and this was not a good idea like at all. I unfortunately died on round 61. You know what, we'll get him next time, because in match 56 I went back in, but this time I was gonna go locked in, and also I decided to take in max ammo elixirs, which is another like completely different part of the game that I just completely don't use. Comparing them to gobblegums, elixirs are kind of useless in my opinion, apart from this max ammo one. You know, I'll take it. Overall, my max ammo luck wasn't the worst, which is also something I was struggling obviously with the round 61, and I actually decided to stay in the master bedroom. I had a pretty smooth thing going. I actually turned on the fire trap, which you essentially had to find like this piece to activate, and what I did was at the higher rounds was essentially throw down a homunculus at the beginning of the round, activate the fire trap, go back into this little corner, and throughout the round use a combination of the wonder weapon, which was definitely the best thing, but also my special ability, which had like this monkey bomb effect that distracted zombies. Pretty good. Then unfortunately on round 95 I ended up going down, which was the downhill of everything. Since that happened, I started really struggling with ammo. That was like one of the main reasons I ended up going down, and I ran out of elixirs as well for the max ammo. I did kind of use them up throughout the rounds, and unfortunately I did get max ammo, but then also unfortunately on round 97 I activated the trap and I died. I failed this close to round 100. 3 rounds away. I was 3 rounds away. But you know what? I wasn't sad. I was just kind of like, oh, really? That just happened? For now, for the rest of this video at least, I'm going to treat this as my round 100. Because dying on round 97 is probably one of the most depressing things. I buried my feelings for myself, not to make myself too sad. So now, I'm done. I've kind of done everything. 56 matches, huh? Then on match 57, up until match 76, I decided to just pack a punch every single gun that's inside of this game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I could have just hopped in for those matches and done nothing, but at least this gave me like just a sense of doing something, and the matches did still go on for like an hour-ish. If you don't believe me, you don't have to, but I'm being completely honest, I did actually play these matches, and I'm not going to tell you every single pack-a-punch weapon that I got because I don't feel like you care. I just want to go over my favorite names or just abilities that the pack-a-punch guns had when I pack-a-punched them, and also I kind of did it once, maybe sometimes twice. I didn't even get perks most of the time just because I dedicated the whole match for my points into not only, you know, opening up pack-a-punch like over 10 times, but also, you know, to pack-a-punch multiple weapons in a game. I got like 2-ish per match because, you know, a lot of points, zombies, insane. And not all of these guns were pretty good. Anyway, the M1897 Trebuchet, I hope I pronounced that correctly, somehow became a grenade launcher after pack-a-punching it. For context, it's a pub shotgun. The Grav pack-a-punch is now named the Gravestone. Get it? Gravestone, Gravestone, funny, whatever. The Mog 12's pap name is literally OMG, right hook. Brilliant name. The Escorgot, when pack-a-punch, shoots poisonous arrows. Interesting. The ABR 223's pap name is God, that was painful. The Hitchcock M9 gets explosive bullets somehow, and also the VKM 750 does also. And lastly, my favorite name for a pack-a-punch weapon is for the Cap 45, and that is the I'm Packed pack-a-punch name. Brilliant. Actually, like it's actually pretty funny. It's really good. So now, ladies and gentlemen, from match 77 on, I decided it was time to do the most difficult challenge, something that I had on my mind this whole time and I kind of hinted at before. I wanted to try to get to at least round 10 in the realistic mode. Yep, that was almost impossible. Now, this was because it was a mixture of being lazy at this stage and also absolutely being burnt out of playing this map, but this was a good way of just hopping in and going through like a bit of a challenge and you know, also the map itself, because I count this. So instead of giving you a really deep dive into this really long video and all these rounds, here's how they went. Here's the highest rounds that I could possibly get in the realistic mode. So in match 77, as I mentioned, I got to round 8. Not actually too bad. It was pretty impressive. Match 78, I died on round 8 again. Match 79, round 1. Match 80, round 3. Match 81, round 2. Match 82, round 5. Match 83, round 5. Match 84, weird stretchy guy showed up and then also died on round 6. Match 85, round 3. Match 86, round 4. Match 87, round 3. Match 88, round 7. Match 89, round 2. Match 90, round 3. Match 91, forgot to record, so here is me waiting to load out of the game, and I got to round 3. Match 92, round 2. Match 93, round 2 again. Match 94, round 4. Match 95, round 2. Match 96, round 5. Match 97, round 3. Match 98, round 3. Match 99, round 4. Oh my god. You think after me doing so many matches of this, I would have gotten better. But nope, round 8 was the best I could do. It's kind of depressing to think about, like really depressing. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to match 100. Honestly, hours upon hours upon hours of playing this game, I decided to do round 100 again. Everything was looking good. Everything was being set up until ammo started becoming a problem. I had 3 self-revives just because I decided to spawn in with a special amulet, which is something you can also do in this game, and I died multiple times in the forest. I ran out of ammo, couldn't get the rocket launcher, it was getting a bit stressful, so then I decided to make my way up to the master bedroom, and unfortunately, on round 27, as ironic as this sounds, this being my highest round I got the first time around, was unfortunately the round I got to for match 100. You know what? I'll take it. It's kind of like a nice loop, nice circle. We've come a long way. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I played 100 matches of one zombies map, and you might consider not being like 100% 100 matches, but here is the stuff that I learned from playing this map, from the good to the bad. First thing is first, do you get better after playing at least 80 matches of normal zombies? Not exactly. At least this is what I noticed personally, and the thing that I noticed is instead of getting better, I just learned that through trial and error, even if you're an average person at zombies, you can still do it. 100 matches is definitely a lot, which is another thing I learned, like way too many. By match 55, I was basically done. Like match 55 was a good stopping point, but because this is YouTube and a title of I played 55 matches of this certain map won't do too good. So 100 matches it was. I basically experienced some severe burnout towards the end, hence why I just did the realistic mode, and you'd be surprised that those went pretty fast, but you know, they still took around 10 minutes each, which still took a lot of time to get through, and just a lot of notes and a lot of writing. I filled up a bunch of like pages on a notepad taking down notes for this video. And also in the very end, this map is honestly freaking awesome. I have no idea why people consider this being the death of Black Ops 4. Maybe I just took a different approach into this, being like, oh, I haven't played round-based absolutely forever, and you know, the most round-based that I've had recently was from Poop Guard and also Cold War Zombies, which I absolutely adore Cold War Zombies, but at the end of the day, the complexity, the beauty, the like detail that Treyarch used to put into their zombies maps, wow. I will say it's just a bit too complicated. The stuff that you had to do on this map was so overwhelming the first time I jumped in, but through trial and error, again, I just learned it, and now I can probably do it with my eyes closed. I've played that map so many times, 100 times actually, ladies and gentlemen. I get it. And I wish I had stats to show you, but my stupid brain didn't think of taking like a screenshot at least before I played, just to show you how much I've played of this game, how many hours I built up, but it was probably around 20. My file for the recordings is quite large, but then again, for example, the Easter egg rounds, I didn't decide to record only until I got to the step that I didn't get to before, just to save some space. So considering the fact that I went from over 2 hours trying to complete the Easter egg before to 1 hour and 14 minutes at the very end, basically kept on cutting down the time, and like with so many Easter egg attempts, so many Gauntlet attempts, they took me forever. So yeah, if you're planning to do this, I don't recommend. What I do recommend for you to do is comment down below and let me know what map you would want me to do this on again, because we're nearing Black Ops 6 soon and I want to play as many maps as possible. Even though this did take me like a week and a half to record, I fully just locked in, as I said, just dedicate as much time into this video, and this is a really fun series. Is it painful? Hell yeah, but that's the whole point. That's the whole point. I want to be here to just tell you how my journey went, and you can tell me absolutely any map. I prefer one of the older zombies experiences. I'm kind of considering Transit, but that will be absolutely abysmal. And also, if you've watched this far, let me know if I should do 100 matches or 50, because I do feel like 50 is definitely more than enough. 100 is a ridiculous amount, but the thing with 100, again, as I've mentioned, it just sounds better. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Comment down below, let me know. Peace out.